Welcome to Mustang Valley. We are in back of Immaculate High School in Danbury. It's a Southwest Conference girls soccer showdown between the Immaculate Mustangs and the Joel Barlow Falcons. It's girls high school soccer, and girls high school soccer lives on CPTV Sports. Hello, everybody. Frankie Graziano alongside my partner, Tom Felice. Tom, Immaculate is 6-0-0 at Immaculate High School this year here in Mustang Valley, and 5 wins for Joel Barlow Falcons in the SWC this year. What's got to give?
That's a good question. It's going to be hard for Joel Barlow. Immaculate 11-0 on the season. They are undefeated, and reigning Class L champions is going to take a very strong effort from Joel Barlow, but they have a couple of players who might be able to make the difference.
Officially for Barlow, they are 6-2-3 on the year, and they are going to hope from an all-around effort from a girl who could certainly do that in Kayla Crosby.
Yeah, Kayla Crosby, a very good player. Look for her to play up top, maybe step back into the midfield just a little bit, but she's a very good player. They're going to try to feed her the ball and have her attack the defense for Immaculate.
3 goals, 6 assists for her on the year. On the other side, it's been about a player that's a captain for them in Caitlin Linden.
Yeah, she's had a tremendous season, 10 goals already, a Division I player, and she'll look to be the key for the offense on the side for the Mustangs.
Immaculate has scored 33 goals on the season. We're told by both coaches, watch the goalkeepers in this matchup. We'll set that up, give you starters. Keep watching. You're watching CPTV Sports. Just about to get underway here in Danbury. The Immaculate Mustangs hosting the Joel Barlow Falcons. The goalie for the Joel Barlow Falcons today is going to be Paige Miller, who earlier had an ankle and a shin injury, but she's going to be okay. Tom will tell you a little bit about that more later. The forwards should be Brett Matsky and Kayla Crosby, Kinsey Colby, Jessica Matsuka, Imara O'Brien Papalardo, Maxie Johnson are your midfielders. Mackenzie Perna, Sierra Fay, Amelia Blackwell, and Grace Backwell are also on this team. Grace should be playing back today, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about that in a second, Tom. But before we do that, let's go ahead and talk about the Immaculate Danbury Mustangs. Shawnee Alterizio starts up top for them. She was a sweeper last year. She'll be playing forward. She is next to Haley Davis, the sister of the incomparable Paige Davis, who graduated from this program last year. Avery Jarbo and Kinsey Jarbo are back with Steph Pellegrino and Mackenzie Mitchell. Kayla Mingachos and Bella Mingachos are also in the midfield with Victoria Kirkman and, of course, who we profiled earlier, Caitlin Linden. The goalie for this team, Kristen Rossler. Rossler on the year has 6 shutouts. Correct. And on the other side, Miller has 5, so set it up for us, Tom.
It's 2 of the best goalkeepers, certainly, in the SWC. 2 of the best defenses as well, which certainly makes goalkeepers look better, but you should expect to see a lot very aggressive goalkeepers on both sides today.
You see the Immaculate Huddle. They are coached by the legendary Nelson Mingachos, who now has 10 titles in the last 13 years altogether. He's coached now 15 seasons. This is his 15th season, and he's got 10 titles. On the other side, Neil Phillips. He is the coach of the Joel Barlow Falcons, hailing from Oxford, England.
He's in his 9th season, and he got this team to a state championship final in 2008, and it's been a very good run for Phillips with Joel Barlow.
We are underway, as you saw up top. It was Haley Davis and Caitlin Linden handling in that opening kickoff. And we're told today not to expect too many goals. We'll see if the goalkeepers are up to the challenge. Early on, Alterizio. And it's pushed away. On the screen right now, you are looking at number 19, Kinsey Colby for Barlow. Here comes the throw-in for Barlow as they will try to turn it upfield for the first time today. Barlow on the season, 5 wins inside the SWC, 5, 2-1 inside of conference play. 5-1-2. They played a couple of games out of conference this year with Naugatuck and Cheshire. For Immaculate, they're used to winning a lot of games, and they've certainly done that so far this year.
Yeah, 11-0, and this senior class has just been so solid. They are now 62-6-8 over their 4 years, and of course this year is not wrapped up yet.
It certainly isn't, but they're cruising You know, they've got just enough girls that they've made it into Class L. They've done most of their damage in S.
Well, they were moved up to L, the success in tournament factor.
And they've taken advantage of that. They won the title in L last year, a tremendous accomplishment for such a small school. That's how to play. It will be a deep throw, I believe.
And it tells you a lot that the idea of the CIAC of moving up teams that have success is working. The top 3 teams in Class L right now, Immaculate, St. Joe's, and Suffield, all have moved up from smaller classes. So it certainly makes it more competitive both in L and in the lower classes for the other schools that might not be as skilled as a team like Immaculate or Suffield or St. Joe's.
Good job by Haley Davis to keep that one in for a while. Barlow has to push it out. They'll have a throw, and it's going to be the coach's daughter, Bella, who was going over there to handle it, but it actually was number 19, Mackenzie Mitchell, who took care of that one. That is right on the corner flag. And the ball will go to Immaculate, who's kept it alive. Here's Bella Mingachos, now a senior for Immaculate. Trying to turn this one into the box. Good tap forward. Miller, confident there, and the first try against her, keeping it away from Shawnee Altarizio, who has been very active today.
Yeah, it was a very good job by Miller to knock that ball away. She knew it was going to be hard to catch it, so she just batted it forward, put it into some space, and led to her team being able to get out of defensive pressure.
Immaculate has been well scouted so far by Barlow and their coach Neil Phillips. So Neil Phillips knows that he's got to spread that defense out. They have a sweeper that they play pretty deep here in Immaculate. See how that comes into play. And a fantastic goalkeeper, so that's why it's very hard to score against this team.
Drop 4 yards. Drop 4
We'll see.
yards.
They have Kayla Crosby up front for Barlow, so she could be up to the task, but they need to get her the ball. Immaculate's had the better of the possession over the first few minutes.
And now a chance out in front of the net. Good job by the Barlow defense thus far, but still loose. Definitely a fantastic effort by Victoria Kirkman to try to get something on net for Immaculate. Barlow now out on the run. And for my bad eyes, I got to be focused away from the football field. It's the black lines that are out. It's going to be tough to see on the far end. You know why? Because the depth perception, you got a black track, a black tar a track here. So it's going to be very hard to see that black line. But now we're going to see if they can cross it in. Barlow, 2-on-3. Immaculate able to retreat in time. Cross into the net, no problem for Rossler, as they were looking to get number 4 involved, Amelia Blackwell.
Yeah, Joel Barlow, they really are going to try to get it out wide and then have the crosses in, but that time Kayla Crosby was a bit out of it, and Blackwell a little too far wide for that cross.
Blackwell. Pass to the outside. Mingachos was there and will let it go out for a goal kick.
Crosby was certainly the intended target on that pass, but just a little strong from Amelia Blackwell.
Early on, you can tell that there needs to be a connection here between Blackwell and Crosby. That could certainly be key here today. Over 5 minutes have elapsed in Danbury. Nice pop forward, trying to get Haley Davis open.
That's been a target a couple of times as Immaculate's looking to spring Davis down the left wing.
Head up, open up, open up, open up.
Falcons able to sniff it out. Good shoulder-to-shoulder aggressive play there by Altarizio, who's a former defender, so she knows how to get into it.
Stand up, stand up. Stand up.
Altarizio
She fell over there.
trying to have some fun there. Goes down,
Go on, Frank.
and the official is going to call that.
Yeah, pretty simple foul, Maxie Johnson with the trip on Altarizio.
And handling the set piece here will be number 5, Steph Pellegrino, who takes over for Paige Davis, who was absolutely deadly on set pieces. Like, really deadly.
Let's get this, Barlow!
Pellegrino into the box. Miller not able to come up with it initially, but she makes the play. That one was pretty deep.
That was a very good ball. Hit to the back post. It gives a lot of attackers the opportunity to get their head on it. They weren't able to there, but they forced Miller to come out and grab it, and they were also in position if the rebound had gone a little farther away from the keeper.
Altarizio setting up Linden, who's not afraid to fire. And now Blackwell on the run. You saw the transition play here work very well as Kayla Mingachos tries to get back on the ball. Grace Blackwell. A boot forward. I like that kind of an effort there for Barlow early, but Johnson blocked. And Kayla Mingachos is able to push that away for the time being. Kayla is not the daughter of head coach Nelson. Actually, it's his brother who is her father. And his brother is quite famous in this area as well, the coach of the Western Connecticut team.
Yeah, 19 years on the bench here in Danbury still. A little farther into town with the Colonials, but he's built a very good program in the Little East.
So you want to play a geography bee, essentially. So what would
No,
happen there is
no,
go down
Frankie.
84, you get around exit 3. And,
Frankie.
Okay. We're about off exit 5 here. You can do 4, but let's do 5. And Coach Mingachos at WestCon. Let's give you these facts, as that was nearly a handball. He has never finished under 500 at that program and has won 7 Little East titles. So WestCon has had a very successful effort under Coach Mingachos. A one-on-one developing. Ooh, in a tough situation there. You'd like to see the goalie protected. No call from the official.
In situations like that, a lot of times the official will let the keeper keep possession and be able to punt it instead of having to take a free kick from 10 yards further back or so.
At the same time, though, if you're Neil Phillips and company, you know that the official's going to give you that extra itch. You need to get any kind of advantage you can get over Rossler, as there's a push from behind, and it's called.
Yeah, this game taking on a bit of an edge early on.
Need to get any kind of advantage you can
See
get
the push
over
down there.
Rossler.
Just a simple frustration play, really.
Yeah, Altarizio had nothing to do with the ball there, as she was toe-to-toe. I think that was Grace Blackwell that was there.
Get wider, get wider, get wider.
And now they'll go forward. Pellegrino getting to the ball. Good closing speed. But she knows she just has to protect as it goes out for a goal kick. Beautiful day, and officially a half hour left in this opening half.
Yeah, could not ask for a better day, and even the goalkeepers are happy with the way the sun sets here at Mustang Valley. It won't be much of an issue for either team. When you get into the middle of October, if you can have days like this, everyone will take them.
63 degrees. As you get closer to New York, it's always warmer in Connecticut, and that's nice because I always grew up in the northwest corner and it was always cold. Ball going back and forth here. Ends up with Kayla Mingachos.
Give her options to play the ball to feet. Yeah, Jess, open
The
up,
Falcons
Jess,
thus
open up,
far
Jess.
looking to be up to the challenge against the not necessarily heavily favored, but certainly the team you would expect to win this one, Immaculate. Amelia Blackwell.
Right, we should be here now, Sierra. Sierra, here now, here now.
Well defended by Mitchell, but Blackwell able to get around it. Excuse me, that was Crosby. And a pop on net. I'll call that the first official shot of the game. And Rossler takes care of it.
Yeah, pretty simple for Rossler, but for Kayla Crosby, a good effort. Put one on net early.
Oh, they've got to do that. They've gotten the edict from coach to be aggressive today. They got nothing to lose in this one.
Yeah, you know, she didn't get a lot of power on it. She didn't really have time to wind up, but it's still a good effort. It was moving towards that corner that might have beaten a lesser keeper.
But I'll tell you what these teams are trying to play for. They're also playing for seeding, as Miller able to get up to it. They're playing for seeding in the SWC, so Coach Mangachos knows if they win today that they pretty much lock up that 1 seed in the SWC tournament.
Yeah, Immaculate's perfect 10-0 in conference. That's 30 points. Nobody has more than 22 behind them. That's Weston.
That's a nice ball delivered from Davis, staying with it, really being a pest.
You're stopping, and she's dropping in
I
behind you.
believe that's Linden. Linden and Davis making the connection there, but nobody on the outside to pass to. And no shot. "27 minutes to go here in Mustang Valley." In addition to the championships that Mangachos has in girls soccer, he also has a state title in boys basketball.
Neil Phillips for Joel Barlow, not a basketball coach as far as we know.
No, he lives, breathes, eats, sleeps, conquers, repeats soccer. Rossler goes down. It's going to be a goal kick, but thankfully for her, the attacker could not get to the ball. That's Neil Phillips, the Joel Barlow coach that you see on the screen. He coaches the youth here, so his Saturday this weekend is going to be pretty packed as he'll coach the kids and then get the varsity program later against Pomperog. Just up 84 in Southbury. Takes Route 188 to get there.
Yeah, he's got the vertical integration going, having the whole soccer program. He's the coaching director, so everybody gets the same idea as they develop coming up through the youth soccer program in Reading.
And that's when you get great soccer players. When you are able to control them and have them play. Personally, I like when kids are just taught to play the right way in high school. I have more of a problem with the way that kids nowadays in all sports are being taught to play in college. I think that people just want to win and get money for their program, so they really coach the kids the wrong way, but that's a conversation for a different day. On this day, 25 minutes are left in the opening half, and it's been a nice one so far between the Mustangs and the Falcons. Blackwell looking for some kind of connection there with Matsuka. Didn't develop. But it will be a throw, and it will be handled by Sierra Fay. One of 4 captains for the Falcons. Immaculate also has 4 captains.
Challenge. Good girl. Go on, get 40 meters. Go on, break a minute.
Crosby to Amelia Blackwell. Now Crosby on the ball. Headed away. Mitchell not able to keep it in a position that they can control the ball. And it seems like, as you see that push, it seems like they've been very aggressive towards Mitchell here, has the Joe Barlow offense.
Yeah, they're certainly not playing back. They're not playing scared or anything like that. They're going forward, trying to get Kayla Crosby involved. It's been a lot of Amelia Blackwell on the right side as well, but there's certainly a plan of attack, and it's been executed so far.
And you talked to Coach before the game about that plan of attack.
Yeah, they want to get it wide and then be able to get it back to the middle.
Fantastic passing there to get to Matsuka. Let's see if they can get across to Johnson. Johnson goes down, and they're going to give her a free kick. from about the 15-yard line.
Yeah.
You could finish your thought. Sorry about that, Tom.
Well, no, that's really it. You saw it right there. They got it wide, and then were able to get the cross in, and it ends up with a free kick in a dangerous position.
And Johnson draws it. Taking it will be Grace Blackwell.
As we get another look at that.
She
trip.
goes down quick.
Yeah. Pretty simple, though.
We're about ready for the shot.
She was tripped up by Victoria Kirkman.
And now Blackwell with a chance. 23 minutes to go. Is she going to pop it on net?
Certainly set up that way. She wants the wall adjusted.
Rossler may be the best goalkeeper in the SWC. So it's going to take a magnificent effort where I think she'll have to tuck it in.
You know, if she can go over the wall on the right side, she has a lot of net.
That's where she goes. It's on the ground. Rossler misjudged it a bit. I think it might have been deflected. And it will be the first corner kick of the match, and Barlow's going to take it. Would you have to say that that was a good effort for them as you take a look at the replay?
It hit one of the players in the wall and ended up deflecting wide. So if she gets that a little higher, it might be very dangerous.
That was Pellegrino. Took that off the dome and powered it further to get it away. We talked to Brad Jeeves, who has played the keeper position for the Newtown soccer program. Newtown, I think they're Pride FC they're called.
Yeah, in the CSL.
The Connecticut Soccer League. And he tells me, I've got a very aggressive keeper. She has improved mostly in the way that she handles set pieces. And she's going to punch that ball. That time, it was off of Pellegrino's head, and she didn't have to worry about it. Bellamin Gachos with room to run. No connection there with Haley Davis. Used to talking about the Davises. She's about a year younger than her sister, Paige. Paige has graduated from this program. Scored a couple of goals last year against Wethersfield in the semis that you saw here on CPTV Sports. Beating Wethersfield 2-0. Advancing to the finals where they took care of Avon in a 2-1 victory. Barlow last year in the playoffs lost against an Immaculate squad that has a lot of these players back.
It was a very close game, just a second round matchup. It went 1-0 to Immaculate. Played right here in Mustang Valley. And last year in the regular season, they tied 1-1. So there's a lot of familiarity and close games going back between these two squads.
It helps. A lot of these SWC programs probably absolutely dread playing Immaculate, but not Phillips. Neil Phillips knows that he's been around this program for a while. He's been building it. And once you have that kind of longevity, you can build the right kind of players that can survive in an environment such as this. Great fan support here in Danbury. Halfway through the first half in the Hat City. Alterizio. She's only got one player forward. She's able to find her. Haley Davis. One-on-one with Blackwell. Back up top to Alterizio. Good defense for now. As Matsuka was battling with her. And it will be a corner. No, it's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, that was touched out by Alterizio, but the clearance for Barlow almost went right to Alterizio and really gave her a better opportunity than it looked like it was going to be.
Good battle at midfield. Won by Barlow. Amelia Blackwell made a nice cut. That was a beautiful cut. She took it off the shin, but the official didn't see that. Sean, Tom. I don't know why I said Sean. I was thinking about my old partner, Sean Meckie. Tom, you can attest to this, being an official. very hard when there's two officials out there to see everything.
Yeah, there's just faults with the two official system, and it's what we have, so it's not like it's going to change anytime soon in Connecticut, unless there's a lot of people out there who would like to become high school soccer officials. But yeah, there's areas that both officials cannot cover, and that most recent challenge was in one of them.
Kayla Crosby being defended nicely. Good back and forth here.
Offside called against Immaculate.
Good trap played there. No score. We mentioned that the keeper, Paige Miller for Barlow, had an ankle and shin injury. Coach tells me she's pretty much 90, 95%. Shouldn't have any problems here today as they try to find Davis. Blackwell having to play on the defensive end. She's had to deal with a quad injury this year.
And it's slowed her down a little bit, but it's really hard to slow her down. She's won the SWC 100-meter title in outdoor track all 3 years she's played track so far.
So you might say that she's not going to be in that defensive position all game?
No, she certainly will have the opportunity to move up into the attack and sprint out of there. We haven't seen it yet. I think they're being a little conservative, not overly conservative, but they want to settle in against a team like Immaculate through the first 23 minutes.
Ball out of play. Fans, tune into CBTV Sports Tuesday nights at 7 o'clock for Beyond the Beat, hosted by Joe Zone. It's a panel that includes myself, Erica Wachter of CBTV Sports, Mike DeMauro of the New London Day, and Sean Patrick Boley of GameTimeCT.com. The best in local sports and beyond. It's all available. Beyond the Beat, Tuesday nights at 7. Visit cbtvsports.org/program/Beyond the Beat to play Beyond the Beat Asks with us. And you may be featured on our program, just like that Hornet, I believe, that was getting involved on the action up top on the camera. Watch out up there, guys. 16 minutes to go here in the half. And another thing that I got to tell you about is there's a soccer star here. Big time. Reaching the national level. So we'll tell you about that later. So maybe if you got one of those fancy TVs, you can do some kind of screen grab because you'll want to see it. We'll set you up for that in a little bit. $15 minutes to go. We're going to talk about it in about 5 minutes or so. Keep you guys engaged. Good ball at midfield. Mingachos. Good run up to about the 30-yard line there on the soccer field by the new substitute in the ball game. Letty Stocks, a sophomore. Out of play near the official on the far side.
And Barlow having trouble stringing their passes together, and it ends up with Immaculate, and they will very quickly break out.
Davis trying to get involved in that one. Blackwell, I got to point at her right now to be the team MVP because she has stopped some runs along that right flank thus far that have been very key. And she has made sure that Miller has barely been challenged in this matchup. Crosby, nice pop. I'll call that a shot. Second shot of the game for Barlow. Good save. Would you believe it? Immaculate does not have a shot on goal this far.
Yeah, they've gotten a few crosses into the danger area, but they haven't had a real true attacking opportunity yet.
Good one-on-one there between Avery Jarbo and the attacker for Barlow. It was Kinsey Colby that was getting in on the action with her. Barlow making the moves on net. Nelson Mingachos has got to be hoping at this point that it's going to be a counterattack before the half that can stun Barlow. On to play, it's going to be a corner kick. Second of the match for the Falcons. And Neil Phillips' team is in business thus far.
Yeah, they've done a good job getting forward. You know, they're playing very simply, and it's a lot of close passes. They haven't looked for many long balls, anything over the top so far.
Mara O'Brien Papalardo takes that. Goes just over the teams out there on the field. And now it's going to be handled by Sierra Fay. Good defense by Mitchell. And I've been watching Mitchell. She's playing with a bit of a chip on her shoulder. And in a program where you have so much success, you need more players like that that just want to win it every year. Throw. Alterizio defers, and it will be taken care of.
Immaculate's been trying to play very quickly on these throw-ins, but Alterizio, the forward, is standing there. It's really not her throw-in to take. She wouldn't have anyone to throw it into if she decides to take it.
Those attackers, man, they just want to get going. And Alterizio's lucky she didn't take that throw because now she's able to get to the ball. Deflection, and Immaculate wins a corner off of that. Their first of the matchup. Maybe they can get their first shot with about 11.5 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, we'll see what they're able to draw up with this corner kick. Looks like Kinsey Jarbo will go over. She had 2 assists off of corner kicks in the Class L championship game last year. She'll try to find a teammate on this one.
Look at Nelson Mingachos trying to play a little defense to offense, trying to get Kayla Lanza in there in the game to try to make sure that she can help on this corner kick attack. Another body in the box. Coming out in favor of her will be Victoria Kirkman. Nice opportunity. Miller comes up with it. And luckily for her, she didn't step over the goal line, at least I don't think. Some conjecture in the box as to what had happened as bodies were flying.
The only thing that ended up in the net were a few Immaculate players. But it was a good job.
Now that is exactly where you want to put a corner.
And Miller does a good job. She makes the catch. And looks like she was able to hold the ball over the line. The Immaculate players.
Yeah, that was Lanza that went down with a nice header effort. But Miller was able to get to that ball quickly. One-on-one, about the 35-yard line between Lanza and O'Brien Papalardo. Stocks misses on that one, and Crosby had a chance. I'm going to call that a shot, but she didn't get all of it.
No, she hit it in an awkward spot on her leg. She might have been able to wait an extra split second to have a stronger strike.
Saw Caleb Mingachos go down. You see Stocks miss that one and pop it up. Crosby playing center field says, I got it. Couldn't complete the try.
It's at least the second time that Kayla Mingachos has been fouled. She's been getting bodied in the central midfield a couple of times.
He's got to fight back. That's a good ball forward. I would call that a healthy ball. A little too much, though. And with 9 minutes to go, we're still scoreless. Thank you for joining us, folks. If you're watching this one, you got to use the hashtag CTGSock. Hit us up on @CPTV Sports on Twitter and Instagram. We do welcome your photos. Share photos with the best in Connecticut sports on Instagram. And also, like us on CPTV Sports Facebook page. Hashtag CTGSock. 8:45 to go. We told you earlier that we have a soccer star in the building. Talk about it a little more in a little bit as we adjust to make sure that you can see that. If you look at the 50-yard line at this game, right behind where unfortunately is being blocked by a cart wearing a red Adidas jacket, is a man that plays for the Red Bulls 2 team. We'll talk about that as you see Lanza going after the ball. And it will be a corner kick for Immaculate, able to win that one.
Hey, Morris, keep it focused in there. Come on.
Looking like they're just going to have it be a throw-in. The ball went out very close to the flag.
Yeah, that's a deep throw. Good job. Good job, Tom. Thank you for backing me up there.
Now here's your corner kick.
Now's your corner kick, the second of the matchup for Immaculate. That's Ryan Mingachos on your screen. There's a corner kick, so we'll talk about him after that. Looking to get, that's his sister, Kayla, on the ball. Might have seen a handball in the box. Not called. Effort in front. Good defense. Kenzie Perna.
Yeah, she knocked it away, but somewhere like that, it could also end up being close to knocking it into your own net.
This will be another corner. Third of the match for Immaculate. Now leading in corners 3-2. 7 minutes to go in this one.
Attack it!
Got that right where you want to see it. Just couldn't pop it on net. And since she's come in the game, Kayla Lanza has been very active in the box. And it will be a goal kick. At midfield, as we just showed you, Ryan Mingachos plays for Red Bulls 2. That is basically what a lot of people are now calling the second tier in the United States soccer system, but not Tom Felice.
Well, he plays for he plays in the youth system. He plays with the U16. He was on the U16 developmental academy team that made it to the national
good space
final
here
last year.
As you'll try to see Altarizio pop it, it goes off the field goal post. Go ahead.
He played on the team that went to the Dallas Cup as well, so he's coming along very well in the youth ranks. Still has a little
he's playing
time
in
to go.
USL Pro now. Well, they call it just USL now, I think. They don't call it USL
it's just
Pro.
USL.
But they always argue whether or not NASL or the USL is number 2. Can go either way. But anyway, we did a feature as part of CPTV Sports in Focus on Mr. Mingachos. And, of course, the great Danbury Mingachos family. Amelia Blackwell might have took an elbow on the face. I don't think she's going to come out, but they are instructing the defense to throw it out so that she can get a good look.
Just check on her. Stop the clock and check on her. She got hit in the face. She started holding her face. The worst thing you do is have her go off the field. The trainer says she's okay, and she goes right back on.
Yeah, she took it hard.
Yeah, she's still holding her head like that, even if she's just adjusting her ponytail.
She says she's fine, but, man, there's a little bit of black and blue under her eye.
It's not something to mess around with. And the officials are instructed. There's a trainer right here. There's an expert right here. Have the trainer look at it. She gets hit from point-blank range. There's absolutely no reason for her to not come out of the game. Just get checked quickly. If she's fine, she comes back in. And if she's not fine, then she gets the treatment she needs.
And why wouldn't they check her out? Because I got the worst eyesight in the building, and I can tell that she's got some definite redness, a little more black and blue underneath her eyes. She took it tough.
Yeah. Looks like she might have got smacked. Maybe it was more the eye more than anything else, but, you know. And that's the one thing I don't get are the coaches out there who want their players to stay in the game in a situation like that. And when you have an athletic trainer there, just have the player come off the field, get checked. The last thing you want is a long-term issue for a player because of negligence.
Immaculate trainer says she's good to go. She's on the line. And she will come back in a moment. Under 5 minutes to go now in the first half. Immaculate has had no problems getting it into the attacking third, but a big problem once they're in that box on trying to challenge Paige Miller here. We've definitely seen some looser play from Barlow today. So I think that Nelson Mingachos will talk to his team in the half, and they'll loosen up a bit as well. Steph Pellegrino thought she didn't need to touch it. Rossler going to come up there and defend it. Rossler comes from a long line of goalkeepers here, but particularly before Rossler got her first title last year as a starter, Ashley Houghton, who's now at Marist, was in net. So there's a lineage before that. They've been very good here. And Rossler figures to get some D1 looks as well. It's what they do here at Immaculate. They produce good soccer talent. The name escapes me, but there was another goalkeeper that went to Central Connecticut State from Immaculate in the last 5 or so years. That might have been a handball. That's out of play. Kayla Mingachos was going one-on-one there with number 21, Imera O'Brien Papalardo. It's a lot of letters, a lot of syllables. Good touch passes exhibited here by Barlow. Immaculate able to regain possession. Stocks couldn't judge that one properly. Blackwell now on the ball, looking for Crosby. So what I've gathered here, Tom, so far is that Grace Blackwell hasn't needed to move up yet because there's been a good connection between Crosby and Blackwell here, the other Blackwell, Amelia.
Yeah, well, you know, she hasn't been asked to do it. She is playing center back, so her primary responsibility is to defend. Obviously, she can get into the attack. She has 5 goals on the season, but today they want to make sure that they are solid in the back.
Kayla Mingachos. Going to see if Lanza can get there. A second ball has gotten on the field, and fans going nuts over that one.
Well, there's an exact reason that teams aren't supposed to warm up with a ball on the sidelines during the game, and you saw why right there.
Hey, you don't want anybody to catch a wayward ball and go down on the pitch. That's not a good idea. Some fanciful maneuvers there by Kayla Crosby. She's a good player. Now under 2 minutes left. All of a sudden, there's some urgency on both sidelines. Been a pretty loose game. Crosby defended well by Pellegrino. Altarizio try to get that ball back. A tough header for Maxie Johnson. I fell for her because I thought she took that off the face rather than the head.
She took the leg in the ribs, it looked like.
Yeah, that happened right afterward.
From Kayla Mingachos. Looked like Mingachos had her leg up there, calling it a dangerous play, high foot here. So that's what the restart will be, an indirect free kick.
Official calling for.
That's a free kick coming out. Hard to tell.
Free kick with 45 seconds to go.
What he called.
Let's see if Immaculate can have one more foray into the box. We had a lot to talk about in the second half, about some of the fabulous players in the Immaculate past and what Barlow plans to do here in the future, in the near future, as both teams try to get into the SWC playoffs. 15 seconds left to go now. Barlow popping it forward, and that one almost died on the turf here at Mustang Valley. That's going to be it. A nice first half here, Tom. What do you say?
Yeah, very even. No team really had the majority of the possession. I think it was a little disjointed for both teams. No one was able to really keep the ball on the ground and build from the back at any point. But, you know, 0-0 tie. It's all still to play for in the second half.
A lot to talk about in the second half, and maybe some goals for you. Please keep watching. Score 0-0 at the half. Immaculate and Barlow, you are watching CPTV Sports. We are scoreless in Danbury. Immaculate and Joel Barlow, and we are hot and ready to go for the second half. Nelson Mangachos really animated in his halftime discussion with his Immaculate Mustangs.
Yeah, he was up for most of the interval, and we were able to see him look like he was in very lively discourse to his girls, and we'll see what they come out of halftime with.
And Neil Phillips should be confident with the direction that they're going in?
I would say so. I think there were certainly some times where Barlow could have played better as well, so I don't think anyone's played up to their best, and we'll see if anyone's able to put it together in the second half.
A fair, insightful, honest assessment from my partner, Tom Felice, as we begin the second half. To give you the idea of the kind of firepower that Immaculate has, they score about 3 goals a game. Actually, right on the dot, they score 3 goals a game. Barlow has averaged 2 in 11 games. Just like we normally see from Kristen Rossler. She's allowed only 7 goals on the year. That's the full tally for the whole team on Immaculate. That's about 3/4 of a goal per game. That's really good.
They have 6 shutouts on the season. They've let up more than 1 goal just once in the first 11 games.
And at Immaculate, they've given up just 3 goals here in Mustang Valley this year. So this is a tough place to play.
It's a tough team to play against. That's really the key, I think, is that it's Immaculate's home field.
It's a program. That's one of those words that gets thrown around too loosely nowadays, but I really cherish that word because, you know, when there's good teams, everybody always says, all these kids graduated. They graduated 9 seniors. Well, if you have a good soccer program, a good coach, and obviously a good developmental program in the city, then you're going to be good no matter what, and that's what they have here in Danbury. And that's what the Falcons are striving to have, and they've done a great job under Neil Phillips. A title appearance in 2008, and without him, they got to there in 2003. He's been here now, as my partner mentioned, 9 times. Comes down here from the Wallingford area as that ball barely stays in. It goes out. They got a yellow line and the black line.
Yeah, I think the official made a mistake.
It's the black line everywhere else on this field. So
no, it's the black line on the end line as well. The official made the mistake. He's going to say it was an inadvertent whistle.
Oh, God. These fans are starting to turn ugly. They're going to have to give her that from the spot.
No, it's a drop ball. It's an inadvertent whistle.
It's going to be a throw. That yellow line represents the field hockey line, I believe.
Yes. No, it's lacrosse.
Or something.
Blue is field hockey, red is boys lacrosse in this field.
There you go. That ball's up in the air. Miller, trouble with it, coming down with it, but popping it forward and not scoring was Bella Mingachos. .36.5 to go here in the game. Rules dictate in the Southwest Conference that if we are tied after 80 minutes, that's it. No OT. What are our favorite overtime rules? Mine's golden goal in the ECC. They got it right.
This one's mine.
This is yours, no overtime?
Is my favorite.
I like golden goal.
It's an 80-minute game. You play for 80 minutes, and whatever happens, happens.
I am the man who once said on a telecast that if 2 80-year-old men were fighting over a grocery bag in the Stop and Shop parking lot, I would watch it. That ball goes out of play.
Now you said it twice on there.
Now it's twice. I like competition. I don't care how it's settled. I like to have a winner.
So, wait, you just said I don't care how it's settled. I like to have a winner. So, isn't a tie a way to settle it?
I guess you caught me there, but I would have to say to that, I really don't like silver goal. I'd rather see a tie at the end of a regulation than watch silver goal, to be honest with you. I guess that's where I could be a little bit of a hypocrite, but silver goal is, especially when there's a tie after silver goal. 35 minutes to go. Crosby. Mackenzie Mitchell. Very active thus far in this game. Puts it out. On the ball right now is Kinsey Colby.
Move for Amelia.
Atsuka. Now a chance perhaps on net. This Immaculate defense in the middle is stingy.
Yeah, there have been very few opportunities for Barlow to go straight up the middle against this defense. And then when they've gotten there, they've really hit a wall.
It's hard to possess against this team. You really have to get them in a counter position so that you can spread them out. And ain't that the goal of every coach? Grace Blackwell to Matsuka.
Give her runners.
We're looking for number 10 there, who is Brett Matsky.
Haven't said Matsky's name too often in this one, but she's a very good player.
Throw for Matsuka. Matsky pops it forward. Wayward leg. Maxie Johnson on possession. That is Kayla. No, Bella Mingachos. Name your Mingachos. We play that every time we come to Danbury.
There's a lot of options here today.
Let's keep him in
Yeah,
there.
Nelson was here. His nephew, who plays for Red Bulls 2, who was featured in the Best in Connecticut Sports Spotlight. Visit cptvsports.org for more information on that. But he was here as well. His daughter, Bella, plays on this team. Nelson's daughter, his brother Joe, his daughter, Kayla, plays on this team. And Father Joe Mingachos is here today, too. Joe Sr., the grandfather of Kayla and Bella. Happy Portuguese community here. Happy Portuguese coaching staff at both Westcon and Immaculate. But it's a corner kick for Barlow. Bodies moving forward late. Amelia Blackwell looked like she had a chance, but that was deflected by the D.
It's another corner kick. Another chance for Barlow.
3 corners apiece for these teams. That's a good opportunity. That's a nice head. Crosby. Kayla Crosby. Barlow leads on the road at Immaculate 1-0.
It was a very well-placed corner kick. Get another
There's a
look at it
piece for
here.
these teams.
And the crowd knew it, too. As soon as they saw that pop forward, that might have touched a shoulder and a bit of deflection.
I'm not sure how much of that Crosby had.
I think it caught. I think they're going to credit Crosby with the goal, but it caught Kirkman's shoulder, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Crosby had any of it or if it just went in off the defender. Crosby's presence certainly played a role.
We're going to check in on that and let you know what the official word is. Right now, they are crediting that goal to Crosby.
It looked like it was O'Brien Papalardo who swung the corner kick in as well. It was a very well-placed ball just in front of the keeper.
Keep hold of the ball. And Mara should be showing in there, look. Fill out.
And Barlow's right back in possession.
It's looking more and more like the day of the Falcons today.
But
Caitlin Linden says, no way. Defended by Matsuka and Maxie Johnson. And finally, they cut off the angle. And taking charge for a brief moment was O'Brien Papalardo. Matsky might have pulled the back of the jersey. She was a devil on that possession. Haley Davis. No connection there. 30 minutes to go. Barlow with a goal in hand. Rossler, just the fourth goal that she has allowed at Mustang Valley this year. Crosby wants another. Pellegrino is there.
Crosby took a knee-to-knee hit. He's limping behind the play.
I believe that goal was scored in the 48th minute. Now on the attack was Pellegrino. Another look at the goal. You're going to see a deflection. But fans, it's not easy for us to say who scored. Because we're not down on the field talking to anybody.
I don't think Crosby touched that ball. I think that's an own goal.
It's a good point, Tom.
Crosby's presence certainly is what made the ball go in. But
we'd like to remind our viewers that we are not the official scorers, but that's a good point by Tom. Alterizio would have liked to see a chance there at a deep possession. Alterizio going to the far side to Bellum and Gachos. .29 minutes to go. Immaculate hungry for a goal to tie this one. For the Falcons of Joe Barlow, their 25th goal of the year. And you know what? Even if it's by hook or by crook, it's the best goal that they've scored this year. Crosby. Wow, that's a collision. That's a hard one to take off the ankle. They got to play because they have a chance, but you know they're going to stop possession, and they do.
Get up.
And they'll be able to carry it, but that was a tough hit to take.
That's twice now that Crosby's been in a collision. This one looked a little lower on the leg. She was knee to knee the last time. This looked like it was a little lower on the leg, and it's not a dangerous play. Those 50-50 balls, they call them a hospital ball, where both players hit the ball at the same time. You know, it's not malicious, it's not a foul. But you just watch both players will hit the ball at the same time.
Pellegrino did what she had to do there.
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. When David Beckham first came to MLS, that's how he hurt his knee, was on a play like that, where he hit the ball at the same time as an opponent, and it was Beckham's leg that gave way.
And they will now walk her off as Crosby able to, I would say she's walking off under her own power, but Coach Neil Phillips just being there to give her some support as the Immaculate trainer looks on. They're going to want to take a closer look at that ankle, but if I had to guess, I would say she won't come back, but what do I know? These kids are tough. They always surprise you. 28.5 minutes to go. And a player that will come in for her is number 5 for Joe Barlow. Hannah Siva.
She's a goal on the season.
She was not listed on my official roster, but thank God for great fans, like the fans that Joe Barlow have. 28.5 minutes to go. 1-0. The goal scorer, or the alleged goal scorer, has gone off due to an ankle injury. She's standing up. She wants to go.
She's ready to go back in. She's at midfield.
She's saying, Coach, get out of my face. I want to play. That ball is up. Can we see a second effort? Rossler, well aware and able to pick it up. But the Falcons are on some kind of roll today.
No.
I still don't have Immaculate as an official shot on goal. I could be wrong.
No, they have not been able to build much of an attack today. It's, stab, one shot, no shot. Either way, they have not been able to do too much in the attack.
Amelia Blackwell Looking for Siva. And they're making Crosby run on the track.
She was just going to get some water.
That's more of a hearty effort from her. She's like, I'm good. I'm good, coach. I've been running here for about 20 minutes. Oh, you've only been out for about 30 seconds. Yeah, I'm good.
Pretty sure.
Linden.
Yeah, pretty sure coach wants to make sure she gets in just as much as she does.
That's right. Linden. She took a chance.
Her hips were just never aligned. And pretty easy to see why that shot ended up going wide.
But you know what? Immaculate really hasn't created anything thus far besides the great passes they've had, but no finishes. So you got to take what you can get. Crosby in, Siva out. A tough girl is Kayla Crosby after taking it off the ankle from Steph Pellegrino. Kenzie Mitchell. .26.5 minutes to go. Neil Phillips with that awesome hair on the sideline. Very dedicated man to soccer in the Easton Reading program. That's what they call it. As officially Joel Barlow is nestled in Reading, but it's a regional program that encompasses Easton, Reading. Probably have some kids from Weston and Fairfield. I don't know. 26 minutes to go. My director, Ed Gonsalves, says they don't have anybody from Fairfield. He would know better than I would. Rossler will have the goal kick. And now, I wouldn't call that shoulder to shoulder, as Matsky went down. Officially, it was Kinsey Jarbo with the aggressive play. Maxie Johnson.
Where the red and white line is, Maxie. Don't be naive. Come on. We have a little cheat as well. Swing it away from the goalkeeper, Kayla Imara Kinsey. Now you got to drop.
Of course, in this game, Barlow's lone goal came off of a set piece. Haley Davis. Alterizio. She got the advantage she wanted there. No choice for Grace Blackwell but to play back. See if she crosses it. Alterizio having some fun with the corner flag. Kayla Mingachos. A couple of hacks at it. The Barlow defense closes in.
Let's go, Barlow!
And that whole entire attack came off of a quick throw-in taken by Immaculate. You see why that's something that Coach Mingachos really drills into his team, is to get the ball in quickly.
Avery Jarbo handled that.
Well, it wasn't called.
Mitchell. Letty Stocks. A lot of frustration, almost boiling over here in Mustang Valley. But if anybody can pop some goals in quick, it can be the Mustangs of Immaculate. Wonder the coach, Nelson Mingachos, have won 3 SWC championships. That's nothing to scoff at, but for these guys, they'd love to have more because of all the state titles. It's hard to play a 16-game slate and mentally prepare yourself for the state tournament when you have a conference tournament coming up. Blackwell not able to come up with it, and it's a deep run by Immaculate. Maxie Johnson. Looking for Amelia Blackwell, finds a defender. You got Mitchell on that back line, Pellegrino. It's a very nice back line. You got Jarbo there too.
I've done a very good job today. Obviously just beaten on that corner kick. You can't do too much about that.
And Barlow's got an attacker on their back line. Plays both ways. Some fancy footwork there by Linden, who now gets possession after the pass from Altarizio. Look at that one-on-one. Amazing play by Sierra Fay, who does not want to let up an inch and wants her team to get the upset on the road. 22 minutes to go. Will we have a shocker in Danbury? I don't think it would be a stretch to say that this would be the biggest win in Barlow soccer history. They've been to a couple of finals but have not broken through, but a win here is proof that you can win anywhere in a particular season. Jarbo sisters get to the ball. Keep it alive for Immaculate. Mackenzie Perna. Amelia Blackwell to Crosby. 1-on-3. Pellegrino kicks it away.
It's a very quick break from Barlow, doing a good job of transition from defense to offense. And that through ball able to connect up to Kayla Crosby really stretched Barlow out offensively.
Matsuka relatively quick with getting that one in. Thought they might have taken some more time off. But you don't want to have that extremely conservative play. They want to take it to the net, and you know Neil Phillips is telling them to play aggressively with this 1-0 lead. Matsky on a deflection almost, gets a chance, puts it over the crossbar.
Yeah, she certainly wasn't expecting that ball, but the cross was aimed somewhere else, hit her, and it bounced forward. She puts it on frame, could be a real problem for Immaculate.
She says, okay, I'll take the shot.
And she did. She was just leaning back a little bit, and that's how it ends up going over the bar.
But that's an important replay to watch, because if you see the positioning that Rossler has and her eyes on the ball, like a dart, like a laser, she knows where the ball is, and she has great positioning there to defend it if she has to. Crosby. Pellegrino pops it in the air. Linden wins the 50-50. Johnson one-on-one with Kayla Mingachos. Linden wins possession. O'Brien Pappalardo. Kinsey Colby making a nice run. And Pellegrino has been a devil, and I think they're going to win the corner.
No, it's a goal kick. That deflected off the Barlow player.
Yeah. And O'Brien Pappalardo hoping to get some help, and she does not get the call. And it will be a goal kick with 19 minutes to go. Kayla Lanza in, out Victoria Kirkman. They had the same substitution about this time in the first half.
Winners! Jump! And again!
And Kirkman played an integral role in the goal because she was trying to play defense to keep Crosby out. And the ball went off of her shoulder and in the back of the net. Crosby able to keep that ball in for now. She hits the corner flag. She may have briefly hit the track, but no, she's okay. I saw Hannah Siva, who was her substitute, pop right up after she went down. And
Coach,
now she's going to go for a run.
Yeah, Coach, I'm ready to go.
Altarizio looking for love there from the officials. Instead, it's going to be a Barlow throw, and it will be handled by Mackenzie Perna.
Let's expose that. Look at him, mate. Look at Amelia.
Matsuka. Back and forth we go. Mustangs still with a lot of time, and here's their opportunity. 3-on-3. Good pass to the outside. Blackwell didn't see. Buried. Watch them on the counterattack. Haley Davis. We're tied at 1 at Mustang Valley.
Very good job by Davis to hold off her run. She stayed on the left, created some width for the Mustangs, and eventually her team was able to break down the defense, and she was wide open in some space on that left wing, and she did not miss with that finish.
You got to feel for Blackwell here. She turned around and said, up, and it was too late.
That's a great finish. Near post, just tucked inside the post. A very good job to put that one away for Haley Davis.
You think she learned that from Big Sis?
Certainly possible.
Paige Davis is at the College of Charleston now. She's a freshman there. And her little sister makes good here today to tie this game up. And you see her on your screen, catching a quick breath after a moment of excitement, tying this ball game up. And I'll tell you what, for a good 60 minutes in this game, it seemed like Barlow was going to get the win, but you can never doubt the Mustangs, especially at home. They smell blood, and they're on another attack.
Well, you just need one opportunity, and Immaculate really took advantage of what's been their first real good opportunity.
It's their first shot on goal. You find the Mustangs coming downhill like that, you're in a bit of trouble. And you feel for Blackwell there because she's played great defense all day, and nothing she could really do there as there was 3 white shirts on the attack, an aggressive attack.
Yeah, it's just hard to keep it up for 80 minutes.
It's Kayla Mangachos keeping that ball alive for her team. Linden.
And Barlow needs to find someone who can calm the team down a little bit, someone to put her foot on the ball and slow things down. As you know, Immaculate's just going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing over the final 15 minutes.
Well, that's usually Amelia Blackwell who can get possession for her team. That's a good start. So Barlow will get possession, folks. Tune in Wednesday nights at 7 for CPTV Sports in Focus, hosted by Erica Wachter. You got off base. We talked to the You Choose Student Athlete of the Week, and guess what? We go to the You Choose Student Athlete of the Week school. How cool is that? It's all on CPTV Sports in Focus, Wednesday nights at 7. You can also see the Best in Connecticut Sports Spotlight. And if you're watching from Danbury, you know Ryan Mangachos, who doesn't play here at Immaculate. That's a loose ball. All Teresio trying to come up with it.
And Barlow's been having trouble with their clearances.
Linden near the corner flag, finally loses and is cleared. I mentioned the Best in Connecticut Sports Spotlight as Mangachos goes to Immaculate, but he, after school every day, goes 2 hours to New Jersey to practice and then has games on the weekend with the Red Bull 2s. 14 minutes to go. 1-1. Kayla Mangachos with 2 defenders closing in. She won a corner there. It's nice. 4th corner of the game for the Mustangs. They're going to take it quick. The Jarbo sisters handling it. Kinsey to Avery. And the goal scorer, Davis, allows that to go out of play. Will we see a tie? Will one of these teams break through? A lot of questions to answer here in the final 13 minutes. Any that you have pertaining to this game?
I think the question is, can Barlow slow it down a little bit and maintain the pressure they're going to face over this final 13 minutes? Obviously, if they're able to break out and score, that's even better for them. But I think the key needs to be holding strong defensively and taking advantage of opportunities like this, a foul, to get the ball out of your own end.
And Tom has hit the nail right on the head. It's the first time we've really felt the tide turn in this matchup, and it is almost like one of those arm wrestling matches where you see the opponent go down in a hurry. We'll see if Barlow can really recap. Are you going to ask me about the arm wrestling?
Do you watch a lot of arm wrestling?
No, I saw a couple of matches, but those little guys, man, they're tough.
Well, I'm sure there's some physics involved, you know, shorter arm, the fulcrum.
Yeah, the fulcrum.
The arm wrestling is really just a simple machine matchup.
I have always maintained that I am the worst arm wrestler in the world. Something about my hands. Anybody can beat me, but we'll look at that foul. See the player go down. Barlow puts it in the box.
Yeah, it was a pretty simple trip from Davis.
Alterizio trying to punish Barlow for allowing them a chance, but Miller cuts it out. And Miller has been stellar in net thus far. Coach Phillips told me earlier, and you before the game, that there's a fight to see who the best goalkeeper in the SWC is, so this is very important, this game. Talk more about that in a minute as you see Crosby getting into the box. Good defense.
And Pellegrino right there. Just cut out the attack.
They're saying that they're trying to figure out, you know, SWC rules. I think that was inadvertent.
It's a simple trip. It's still a foul.
Oh, was it a trip?
Oh,
I didn't see any. You got it. You got it. You saw.
It was a foul. The coaches want a yellow card on the Immaculate bench.
Well, usually, if there is a trip and you're pretty much the last defender in that situation.
Well, it's going down the sideline. You know, she doesn't have possession of the ball. It's hard to say that's a tactical foul just because of the direction of the play. I don't think the officials are wrong to not give a card there.
I apologize to Alterizio. I thought that was a simple, let me see if I could win a call here.
No, she was clipped, but.
As Kinsey Jarbo on the ball now. That's a fight for the ball there, and it's loose. And now Amelia Blackwell with probably her first touch in some time. Kenzie Mitchell was looking for Linden.
There it is.
Alterizio. Oh, she's got Linden. Good defense there by O'Brien Papalardo. Miller loses the ball. Linden. Calamity in front of the net. Barlow clears it. Wow.
Very dangerous time there for Barlow.
Tough turn of possession there for the Barlow D, but I have to say a very confident play there by O'Brien Papalardo. It is a majestic scene here, just about 5:30 Eastern time as we are live taping this game. Of course, for re-airs of this game, you visit cptvsports.org. Check out our girls soccer schedule. And we got more sports. We got all the fall sports in terms of field hockey, boys and girls soccer, girls volleyball, and of course high school football, Friday Night Live football. Got to hit up cptvsports.org for all those schedules. 8:48 to go. Still tied at 1, and Barlow, at least now they didn't give up that second goal, and now they have a chance to get into the attacking third. Take some time now, maybe get back in front.
Yeah, it's certainly an opportunity to relieve some pressure that they've been feeling from the Immaculate attack.
It's hard to entertain this kind of suggestion because it's very rare, but if somehow Barlow can get ahead and win this game, you're talking about taking the lead and then getting the victory after the tie on the road. This would be the game that Neil Phillips and company would look at. But Immaculate wants to have none of that. Davis. Good defense. O'Brien Papalardo now turns it upfield to Crosby. She's got some space if she can get the ball forward to Matsky. Crosby having to go sideline to sideline now, loses possession. And the official makes the call, and the ball goes back to Immaculate. 7.5 minutes left. Kinsey Jarbo kicks that one away. Alterizio, like a wide receiver, turned that ball upfield. Good foot skills. Linden pops that up. Mingacho's had a chance.
That thing hit the post.
That did hit the post?
Yeah, hit the post and bounced to the keeper. It was an odd deflection in there.
I thought there was excitement around the bodies in the box.
Miller wasn't ready for that. That bounced off the post and right back to it.
That's why we have Tom here. He's my eyes. Tied at 1 apiece. 6.5 to go.
Watch the header and then a
good flick, and it does go off the post. Good call.
Yeah, it looks like Kayla Mingachos is the one who got the last touch to it.
Six to go. As we mentioned earlier, if it's tied after regulation, that's it in the SWC. Already, Barlow has tied 3 times this year. Immaculate, it's not been touched.
Unblemished record that's on the line.
Yeah, you like that. Hard to believe these teams have already played 11 games. And you look off in the distance and all the leaves have already turned. Man, can it go by time.
The high school season is so compressed. You're going to end up playing your 16 games, or Barlow just playing 15 games this year, and you play them in about 7 weeks. It's a very tight schedule.
The good thing, though, is that match fitness, these kids grow up quickly now because they're having to play 3 games in a week.
Keep it in there. Right. Slide in here. Slide in here. Hey. Slide in here.
5 to go. We've seen a goal in the, wow, Mingachos and Johnson both going down at the same time. We saw a goal in the 58th minute to tie it up. 10 minutes after, we saw the goal that put Barlow ahead. And Barlow's going to get the kick. Just to reset, the goal was, I'm sure it'll be credited to Crosby. That's usually what they do, but it definitely went off of the defender's shoulder and into the back of the net, the 48th minute. 10 minutes later, a great counterattack and a pounding finish by Haley Davis. Sierra Fay. That was Letty Stocks that was able to get that ball forward for Immaculate. There's Kirkman. Alterizio gets possession. That was a nice shot. How to play.
Yeah, Barlow gave her time to turn, and then she's able to crank that shot off. That was a very good attempt. That might be the one Immaculate ruse if they don't find a goal in the final 3:40.
Tough shot. Almost put it in. 3.5 minutes to go. Crosby. She's got 4 white shirts around her. She's going to need some help to come to fruition. O'Brien Papalardo Allows that one to go out. And now Barlow can commit some bodies forward. Almost at a time where next goal wins. Otherwise, we'll finish in a tie. Papalardo. Crosby. Right on the line. Official whistle. And they'll call it an immaculate throw. Getting involved in there is Carolyn Lenoci, a substitute. The Blackwell Misters making sure that Immaculate couldn't have a chance there. Watch out for Davis. She is speedy. Good clearance by Paige Miller. That's a good 45-yard clearance.
And she kept the ball in as well. It ends up being a Barlow throw-in at the end of it.
Hey, Coach tells us that at this time of the year, they look to see who's going to make all SWC. And she's trying to impress somebody. Done a good job today. 2 minutes to go. See if somebody could break the deadlock at 1. Mingachos trying to find Linden. Can't win the shoulder to shoulder. Ball right on the line, and Linden able to win it. Mingachos. Davis. Almost caught a deflection. A minute 26 to go.
That trouble all started. Barlow was trying to let the ball roll out for a throw-in on their left side of defense. They were unsuccessful, and it created a pretty dangerous opportunity for Immaculate.
Neil Phillips trying to rally the troops to go forward and not accept a tie. O'Brien Papalardo. It would be a hard-fought tie, as we mentioned. Teams that have come into this building thus far, I should say this wonderful turf facility, 0-6 this year. Immaculate has been unblemished to this point. 45 seconds to go. Out of play, it will be an Immaculate throw. Looks like they may get the last shot at it unless Barlow can turn it away quick. O'Brien Papalardo is going to clear. Now 25 to go. Mackenzie Mitchell. We'll see if anybody can get one more chance. Under 20 seconds to go. Battle back and forth. And that's it. As the clock runs down, 1-1 tie. What a fantastic matchup in the SWC, where Barlow gave it their all to try to get Immaculate's first loss, but a 58th minute goal was the one that tied it, a goal by Haley Davis.
And I think it's certainly possible this is a matchup that's seen again in both the SWC and in the Class L tournaments. Joel Barlow proving a lot to people today as they get this tie against Immaculate.
Talking to the players of the game in a moment will be Tom Felice. You are watching CPTV Sports. Stay tuned for that interview. A fantastic finish at Mustang Valley. It's a 1-1 score, an SWC showdown between Joel Barlow and Immaculate. Standing with the 2 goal scorers in this matchup is my partner, Tom Felice.
Here with our co-players of the game, the 2 goal scorers in this one, Kayla Crosby from Barlow and Haley Davis from Immaculate. Kayla, we'll start with you. You scored the first goal of the game coming off that corner kick. What were you thinking about? What was the plan on that corner kick?
Well, it was my job and Sierra's job to run in and attack the ball, and then that's what ended up happening on the second corner. But then after that, we needed to capitalize on the rest of the game.
So she got the first goal, and the second goal of the game was Haley. You guys seem to be having some trouble breaking down the Barlow defense. What went right when you were able to put it in the back of the net?
She kept coming, and she kept getting the ball in each tackle, and she looked up, and I kept making my run. It was good placement, I guess, in the end.
So a 1-1 tie here. Kayla, for you guys, I would say, a good result, the first blemish on Immaculate's schedule. How do you build on this for the rest of the year?
I think this is how we start our journey towards SWCs and states, because Immaculate's one of our harder teams, and they're our team that we want to be able to compete with and eventually win SWCs and states.
And Haley, for you, you guys know that every team looks at you as the team to beat. So how do you recover from this and move on for the rest of the year?
We know our mistakes, we know what we need to work on, so capitalize on those and keep working on them in practice.
All right, there you go, your co-players of the game. The first time they've met this year might not be the last. Frankie, back to you.
Tom asking some tough questions there. That's when you like when the players of the game come from each side. You just saw Kayla Crosby and Haley Davis. The goal scorers, as we mentioned, this one finishes 1-1. Immaculate now 11-0-1 on the season. 6-2-4 is the Joel Barlow Falcons. Our director today, Ed Gonsalves. Our producer, Jeremy Karff. Up top on the cameras, we had Marshall Sibley and Andy Heavysides, and also James Cloder was in on the action. Thank you all for tuning in. For my partner, Tom Felice, I'm Frankie Graziano saying good night from Danbury.